Hello grade 10 students, welcome to this video lesson. I am Madhu Badke. We will continue with chapter 4, quadratic equations, part 3. In today's lesson we will learn how to find the solution of quadratic equation using the method of completing square. So let's get started. Consider this expression x square plus bx. Can we write this expression as a perfect square? With some inspiration from geometry, we can write this expression as a perfect square. Let's see how. The x square term is represented as a square of side x. So x into x is the area of this square. And bx is the area of the rectangle that has length x and breadth b. In terms of geometry, x square is the area of a square and bx is the area of a rectangle. Now if we divide bx into two equal halves along the length, then we get two parts or two rectangles. These two rectangles can be placed along the edge of the square of side x as shown in the second figure. So by arranging half rectangles along the sides of the square of side x, we have arranged x square plus bx nearly into a square. Why do we say nearly? Because it is still falling short of this part, which is a square of side b upon 2. So if to this figure we add a small square of side b by 2, then x square plus bx is a perfect square. So what did we do? We have added b upon 2 whole square to x square plus bx, and now this figure is a perfect square, which is x plus b upon 2 the whole square. So x square plus bx can be made a perfect square if we add b upon 2 the whole square to it. But when we add something, we also need to subtract it in order to keep the balance, because we can't just add without also subtracting it. Otherwise the value of this expression changes. Now let us see how to use this process properly with an example. Find the zeros or roots of quadratic equation x square plus 6x plus 7. The first step is to shift the constant to the right side. So rewriting this equation, x square plus 6x plus 7 goes to the right, becomes minus 7. Now on the left side we have x square plus 6x, which is like x square plus bx. Now in order to make this expression on the left hand side perfect square, we need to add something, and the same number needs to be added on the right side as well to keep the balance of the equation. To find what we need to add, we will have to write down the left side as a square plus 2ab plus b square, where the x square is the a square term and 6x is the 2ab term. So we have added b square to the left side. So on comparing these two, a is x. So let's write down the given equation. X square plus 2ab plus b square equal to minus 7 plus b square. This is the b square term which is being added on both sides of the equation. So 2ab, now a is x, so we write x over here. Now we need to find out what is b. So comparing 2ab term with 6x. So 2x b, this is the b term for now, equal to 6x. So b is equal to 6x upon 2x, that is equal to 3. So b is 3. So everywhere we can write 3 in the remaining brackets. So now we have written x square plus 6x equal to minus 7 as x square plus 2 into x into 3 plus 3 square equal to minus 7 plus 3 square. So this is the extra term that we have added, and 2 times x times 3 is 6x. Now the left side is in the form of the identity a square plus 2ab plus b square. So now we can write the left hand side as x plus 3 the whole square, and the right side will be minus 7 plus 9, which is equal to 2. So taking square root of both sides, x plus 3 is equal to plus minus square root of 2. So x is equal to minus 3 plus minus square root of 2. Plus minus means that there are two roots. So x is minus 3 plus root 2, and x is equal to minus 3 minus root 2. So let's list down the steps that were involved in this process. Step 1. Divide all terms by a, the coefficient of x square. In the example that we solved, the coefficient of x square was 1. So we didn't need to divide the whole equation by coefficient of x square. So if the general form is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, then on dividing by the coefficient of x square, we get x square plus b upon a times x plus c upon a equal to 0. Step 2 is to move the number term c upon a to the right side of the equation. So x square plus b upon a times x will be equal to minus c upon a. Now complete the square on the left side of the equation and balance this by adding the same value on the right side of the equation. So whatever you have added on the left side should be added on the right side. And then we take the square root on both the sides of the equation. In the fifth step, we subtract the number that remains on the left side of the equation to find x. Let us now use this method in another problem to understand it better. In this quadratic equation, the coefficient of x square is 2. So according to the first step, we divide the whole quadratic equation by 2. So we get x square plus x upon 2 minus 4 upon 2 equal to 0. So that is x square plus x upon 2 minus 2 equal to 0. Now the second step is to shift the constant term to the right side. So this implies x square plus x upon 2 should be equal to 2. Now the left side has to be expressed as a perfect square. We will write it down in the same pattern as a square plus 2ab plus b square equal to 2 plus b square. This is the extra term, that is b square. So the first term x square corresponds to the first term. So here you should put x. X upon 2 corresponds to 2ab. So we have got a, that is x. So we will substitute x over here. To find b in your rough column, we will equate the terms with variable x in these two expressions. So x upon 2 is equal to 2x times b. This is b that we need to find out. So b is equal to, x and x cancels, so b is equal to 1 over 4. So the b term is 1 over 4. And same number you need to write down in the bracket on the right side. Now we have a square plus 2ab plus b square. That can be written as a plus b the whole square. So x plus 1 over 4 the whole square equal to 2 plus 1 over 16. So this is equal to x plus 1 over 4 the whole square. Add the numbers on the right side. So 16 to the 32 plus 1, 33 upon 16. Now what was the fourth step? To take the square root. So taking square root, x plus 1 upon 4 will be equal to root 33 upon 16 plus minus. This is equal to plus minus root 33 upon 4. Root 16 is 4. So now x plus 1 upon 4 is equal to plus minus root 33 upon 4. Carry this constant term to the right side. So x is equal to minus 1 upon 4 plus minus root 33 upon 4. You can write these two terms combined because the denominator is same. So we can add the numerators. Minus 1 plus minus root 33. What does this plus minus mean? That there are two zeros of this quadratic polynomial. So one zero is minus 1 plus root 33 upon 4, and the other 0 is minus 1 minus root 33 upon 4. Let us now try another quadratic equation and find its zeros using method of completing square. Now sometimes by looking at the equation, you will be able to understand that you do not need to add an extra term to this expression to make it into a perfect square. If we can write the left hand side expression of this equation as a square plus 2ab plus b square, then it becomes a perfect square, that is a plus b the whole square. So writing this expression in the same format, a square plus 2ab plus b square equal to 0. We need to find out what is a and b. So comparing the terms, 4x square can be written as 2x the whole square. So A is 2x. Now B, comparing the middle term with 4 root 3x. So 2 into 2x into B is equal to 4 root 3x. So B is equal to root 3. So now this expression can be written as 2x plus root 3 whole square equal to 0. Taking square root on both the sides, 2x plus root 3 equal to 0, or x is equal to minus root 3 upon 2. Since it is a quadratic equation, it will have two roots. This step also implies that 2x plus root 3 into 2x plus root 3 is equal to 0. So each bracket when equated to 0 will give x equal to minus root 3 by 2 and minus root 3 by 2. So this quadratic equation has identical roots. Let us now try to use this method in the fourth quadratic equation. Now the first step was to divide the whole equation by the coefficient of x square. But you can use an alternate method. That is, instead of dividing, you can multiply the whole equation by some numbers so that the x square term becomes a perfect square. So let's try that method over here. So if we multiply this equation by 2, then we get 4x square plus 2x plus 8 equal to 0. Now we will shift the constant term to the right side. So 4x square plus 2x is equal to minus 8. Now we shall write the left hand side as a perfect square, and to do that we will have to add some number. So we write the format a square plus 2ab plus b square. Four x square is this term, 2x is this term, and this is an extra term that we have added. So on the right side also we need to add the same term. So what should be in this bracket? 4x square is obtained by squaring 2x. So 2x is the first term. So a square plus 2ab plus b square. In this, a is equal to 2x. So we will substitute here 2x. Now we need to find b. So we will divide 2x by 2 into 2x, which is equal to 1 upon 2. How did we get this? We equated 2x to this term because they both are same. So 2x is equal to 2 into 2x into b. So b is equal to 2x upon 4x, and that is equal to 1 over 2. So the b term is 1 over 2, and you will fill in the remaining brackets with 1 on 2. Now this expression is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So we can write this as 2x plus 1 by 2 the whole square equal to minus 8 plus 1 over 4. Adding the right side of the equation, we get minus 31 upon 4. Now taking the square root, 2x plus 1 over 2 is equal to square root of minus 31 upon 4. Now square root of a negative number is not defined. So we cannot find the zeros of this particular quadratic equation. This implies that this quadratic equation has no real roots. Having said that, we stop the process of finding the zeros. That's all in today's video lesson. Your assignment is exercise 4.3, question number 1, out of which subparts 2, 3 and 4 are already done. So the assignment is subpart 1 and an extra question 5. Goodbye.